Good, happy Saturday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, volunteers repair and improve veterans' home. It's one thing to thank veterans for their service, quite another to get in their roll up your sleeves and show your appreciation through a little sweat equality. New Clinton campaign ad focuses on children's health insurance program. Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's campaign on Saturday is launching a new ad focusing on the Children's Health Insurance Program, which Clinton was involved in creating. Manchester woman to use billiard to find kidney donor. A Manchester woman with dyslexia is looking for a kidney transplant and is hoping a billboard will help her find one. Large fire burns on Long Island in Malton Crews battle a large fire at a building along the shore of Long Island in Malton Friday night. Memorial for Salem student who died of cancer. Students and staff at North Salem Elementary School are remembering a second grade student who passed away this week. Vandals damaged Hampton Beach sand sculptures. Authorities are looking for a person suspected of vandalizing sand sculptures on Hampton Beach. Turkeys are hatching across the state. The New Hampshire Fish and Game Department is asking for the public to help in tracking wild turkey broods in New Hampshire this summer. Crews responded to fire in Manchester. Fire crews responded to a fire along the railroad tracks south of Northeast Delta Dental Stadium Friday evening. Executive Council faces vote next week to restore state funding to Planned Parenthood. New Hampshire's 5-member Executive Council will vote next Wednesday on whether to restore $549,000 in state funding for Planned Parenthood of Northern New England after rejecting the contract and defunding the organization last summer on a 3-2 vote. Movement to dump Trump may be gaining steam again. As the Republican National Convention nears, the movement to push for an alternative to Donald Trump might be gaining steam once again. Brexit vote affects investors in New Hampshire. Volatility in world financial markets is affecting Granite Staters following Great Britain's unexpected vote to leave the European Union. After rise in 2015, crime down in Manchester for first half of 2016. Manchester police released crime status for the first half of 2016 that show an overall drop in crime. Investigators recording of former police chief played an assault trial. Investigators recorded interview of a former Canterbury police chief accused of sexually assaulting a teenager years ago was played in his trial Friday. Accomplice in home invasion continue testimony. A key witness in the trial of a man accused of violently attacking a couple during a Bedford home invasion continued his testimony Friday. Man accused of recording girls changing clothes at Target. A Raymond man was arrested Thursday after he was accused of recording two girls in the dressing room of a Bedford Target. Clinton's leadership test and warning sign. Hillary Clinton's campaign on Friday tried to frame the Brexit vote fallout as a leadership test and the latest opportunity to paint Donald Trump as unfit for the Oval Office. Rolling risk for stocks ahead. Let's take a listen to the video.
Well, we don't think investors should be doing anything this morning. Hopefully they own some of those safe havens that buffer portfolios in times of stress, like treasuries, like even cash or gold in their well-diversified portfolios. No, instead, I think investors have to look at this as a shock. And I don't mean as a surprise, but I mean as a shock to the economic, financial, and political system, akin to maybe what we saw back in 2011 with the earthquake in Japan and the ensuing nuclear disaster and recession there. We saw a sharp decline on the first day, ultimately double-digit declines, but the market came back 3 or 4 months later. That was true again in the 2012 debt crisis in Europe. Very similar scenario. We saw stocks fall sharply on that first day, 3 to 6%.
Okay, and there you have it, what they're talking about in things. 23 dead in devastating West Virginia flooding. At least 23 people have died from a devastating flooding and historic rainfall in West Virginia, according to the state's Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Governor Earl Ray Tomblin has called the flooding among the worst in a century for some parts of the state. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday. See you back here later on. Goodbye.